Hello guys, this is 97 back with another Pokemon Black and White 2 Wi-Fi battle. And yeah, this battle is against Xenon, so if you do not know him already, which you should do because he is a really kind of known YouTuber already. But if you do not know him, you can just click on the description, his link is there, you can subscribe to him. I love his narration, so if I love him, it's more likely you're also gonna love them, so yeah. Yeah, I'm using that team. I really like to use that UU team with my favorite Tornado set, which is Subcelic. And then, yeah, his team is it's really balanced and he has awesome threats because everything on his team appreciates to be scarfed. Zoroark, also with that illusion, can be kinda, yeah, hard to take out because I do not know him. Yeah, so it can be disguised as something and I do not know what it is. So yeah, but taking that off, I think I can actually be kinda. I have counters for them, but yeah. So I'll do it off with my Flygon because it's my scarfed Flygon. I can always U-turn or whatever he decides to bring in. He brings in this this thing, Cobalion. I do predict a switch into his own Flygon because he has a Levitate. He wanted to dodge my Earthquake, so I just went for the U-turn. It turns out that U-turn does a good chunk of damage still to that Flygon. So, I'm gonna U-turn on into my Bronzong because, yeah, what can a Flygon do to a Bronzong? He just goes for the U-turn, gets some damage and U-turns out. It still doesn't too much because I'm fully defensive. So he does go into his Victini, and I think I go for my Stealth Rocks, because Stealth Rocks are the only way I'm gonna know when he brings in Zoroark, because if he brings Victini disguised as Zoroark, Stealth Rocks will not do the same damage as it would to Victini, so I'll know. So yeah, now I predict him to overpredict and go for the U-turn, so I stayed in with Bronzong, but he actually goes for the safe play, which is V-Create, and this Ray takes me out because, yeah, that's a banded V-Create right there, that's a banded Victini. Those things are so hard to take out, but I can bring in my Tornadoes and set up on this thing. I'm gonna go for the first substitute, he goes for the V-Create, and I'm also kind of hoping for him to get the defense drops. I kind of made a bad play here, I could have waited so he got those many defense drops. And yeah, after this substitute I'm gonna go for right now, I would definitely have been able to take him out because he's gonna go for the V-Create. He's at -3 defense, so I would have been able to knock him out with the acrobatics, but I don't think, and because had I gone straight right now for the acrobatics, I would have been able to, yeah, to kill that thing and still have a free substitute that I can set up. Yeah, but at the same time I didn't know if I could outspeed because at the time I didn't know if this was scarfed or banded because, you know, you could have taken out Bronzong anyways because he's super effective. So yeah, I do get myself boost right now, and yeah, he goes on the V-Create. Now I can easily outspeed, go for the no item acrobatics, and yeah, that's gonna be more than enough to take out that -4 defense Victini, and with my acrobatics. Yeah, that was an overkill. So he does bring in Raikou, and I'm fearing this thing to be scarfed because I didn't know if Victini was scarfed or banded, so I just switched out because I wanted to save Tornadoes, and I'm going to Flygon predicting the Volt switch, but it makes a good play, goes for the extrasensory, and that does over half to my Flygon, so that's kind of bad. But at the same time I can bring in my Azelf, which can obviously take the extrasensory, and because I didn't saw Life Orb recoil or nothing, I think this will be choice locked. So I'm going to myself as he brings in the Rotom Cut. I'm gonna go for the U-turn because it's the, yeah, I want to switch out and it's super effective. I knew end up for getting a critical hit. It kind of didn't matter in the long run of the battle, like you'll see later on. But yeah, kind of not right now, it was a bit of a problem to him. He wasn't upset or anything, it's just, yeah, kind of bad because when you get crit and kill, that's bad. But yeah, he does bring in his Cobalion, and again, I don't know if this thing is gonna be scarfed or not, so I'm gonna switch into my Blastoise, and he goes for the Night Days because that's a Zoroark and not a Cobalion, and I should have noticed that, and I did. I'm kind of being stupid narrating this because I did saw that the Stealth Rocks didn't do as much as they would to a normal Cobalion, because now it brings normal Cobalion and the Stealth Rocks damage is different because it does less to this Cobalion, to the original Cobalion. So I go for the Skull trying to get a burn, but I unfortunately don't get the burn, which is kind of bad because Cobalion is a physical attacker. And yeah, that would have been really nice. But right now I do predict him to go for the Swords Dance because I wasn't thinking Cobalion to be scarfed. Yeah, I said that I thought Cobalion would be scarfed, but then yeah, I kind of didn't know. It wouldn't make much sense because if Raikou is scarfed, Cobalion isn't going to be scarfed. But yeah, I do already him out into his Raikou. You can freely go for the Volt switch, and that's going to be enough to take me out because it's super effective in stab. So yeah, blast places go down right now, but at the same time I get the free switching, I get the advantage. I mean, he goes into Zoroark, he's not disguised as anything, which is nice because I know that he's a Zoroark, no doubt about it. Going to bring in my 97, which is me. Going for the superpower because I thought I could have been able to outspeed, but it turns out that Zoroark is scarfed. So that means I know that now Cobalion isn't scarfed and Raikou isn't scarfed, so that's going to be really nice because yeah, Flygon can outspeed Cobalion and Raikou go for the Earthquake and kill them. So I do bring in my Raikou, my own Raikou. He goes for the Night Days. I know I can easily take one, doesn't even do 50%. I'm gonna go for the Specs Volt Switch, and that's gonna be able to knock out the Zoroark, which is nice because, yeah, Zoroark being Scarf is kind of a threat. But now he's out of the way, and I do go out into my Flygon because, as I said, Cobalion, now that I know that Zoroark was Scarfed, Cobalion is definitely not gonna be Scarfed. So I can go for the U-turn on that thing and kill him. But it turns out that Cobalion is also Scarfed. So that means my Flygon does go down right now. But at the same time, I think, okay, he's definitely not gonna have 3 Scarfers. So I can bring in my Azelf, take a obvious Scarfed Close Combat, go for the Psychic, because after the -2 special defense, that is easily gonna be able to knock him out. So yeah, that's the thing, gonna go for the Psychic, and that's gonna be able to knock him out. But right now, he can bring in, I think he brings in whom? I don't even remember who he brings in. Yeah, he brings in Flygon, and I knew I could outspeed, because, you know, if Cobalion and Zoroark were Scarfed, Flygon is not going to be Scarfed. But it is Scarfed! So, he has 3 Scarfers on his team. And right now, I do bring in my Raikou, because, yeah, that's the last thing I have. He can easily outspeed me, because I'm not Scarfed, I'm Specs, and he's Scarfed. So, Raikou goes down, and I lost because he had 3 Scarfers. Let's face it, if his Scarfer was only Zoroark and like Flygon like be Life Orb and also like Cobalion be Leftovers or something, I could have won. But yeah, at the same time, it works for him because as we saw right now. And something I also want to say is that Xenon did upload this battle into his own channel, so I leave a annotation to the video, I guess. So, and again, if you didn't watch my last video, you can click on your screen and you will see it. And if you're not subscribed, you can please click the subscribe button either on your screen or below. So, yeah, I'm gonna say that. Until next time, later.